Good morning, Danielle. So MSGM kept going after I made my little bit off of it. A lot. it went $40 up. I bought it to 20. I bought it to 20. This thing's sitting at the 63 right now. That is insane. Wow. Well, I took my little piece and got on down, quick 200 bucks and dodged the rest. I did not see that gap up coming. Wow. That's crazy. So my little trade down here, my little insignificant trade was actually at the end of the day. I saw it in this range and it was still moving from 18 up to 23. And I was like, man, it keeps on bouncing there. So I just bought, at the low on the 15 minute. I was buying. I saw this thing come down. I bought on the end of this one when it dipped down here to 1837, right down here to the bottom side of this little. Oh, I'm not even showing the right screen. My bad. But anyway, uh, now that two more people came in, so a few more people came in. MSG, I traded MSGM. I traded yesterday for a quick scalp. Um, I was buying down here at the bottoms of the charts here. So again, let me pull this out. So I bought on this dip here to this previous level of 1837. I added a little bit there. And then it kind of started going flat and holding here a little bit. And I was like, that's interesting. And so on each one of these little dips down, 19, 22, everything under $20 I was collecting. And then it gave me a pop at the end of the day back up here to 20, right around 22, where I took my profit off there and I was all cash because I didn't want to hold it into the aftermarket because I didn't know what it was going to do. And then the aftermarket just went flat. So I was like, okay, well, it's coming down anyway. With this little end of the day signal here, looks like it had a little downwards momentum. Then it gaps from the 20s up here to the 60s. Insanity. But I took my little piece. I'm good. I'll take my little $200 off and let it do its thing. Because who could expect this type of move after this? I mean, flats and then boom, huge pop up. So we'll see what kind of action comes off of that. Let's jump over here to the scans. We did have some other big movers on today as well. Uh, um, MGAM up 59 and moving in sentiment with MSGM. VS is up 429%. Then we have QNRX. I don't know what exactly. We'll look into that and see what QNRX is. And then we have MSGM up another 185%. Now I think yesterday it was up 800%, so that makes it almost 1,000% in 2 days. Almost, I think, just right under 1,000. But yeah, these are the ones that have been going crazy. We'll see what kind of hump day moves come out of this, but wow, 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 just impressive moves all around. I'm just amazed at these stocks right now. The SPY is at 405. It has been going pretty flat out here. But yeah, let's actually, and the reason I focused on MSGM yesterday was because of the range. I mean, this thing was moving $3 every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. I was like, okay. I was like, I like it. So I just started buying the dips, buying the lows. Every time I saw a low wick, I was buying. So if you were watching MGA, if you were watching MSGM, every bottom wick I was buying. Cause I was like, I told Darnell in the Discord, I was like, yo, that $20 gonna get crazy. Either it's going to hold and it's gonna be all right, or it's going to give some type of pop before the end of the day. And it happened. So I was like, oh, okay, dope. But anyway, if you guys got some trades on any of those, MGAM, MSGM, and now today the new one is VS. So let's look at the news for VS versus Systems, and see what they got going on over here. Versus Systems to partner with Resolve to bring generative AI and gamification to customer payments and credit management. Okay. So VS is a new one. So I'm wondering, will VS be stronger than, MSGM, or will we have to wait a little bit for VS? VS, let's see, announced today they will partner with automated debt collection and artificial intelligence company Resolve for gamification and interactive elements to Resolve's existing AI-powered credit and debt management products, with the goal of addressing a portion of the 4.5 trillion U.S. consumer non-mortgage debt market. Versus uses interactivity and rewards to make advertising and entertainment more engaging, driving consented first-party data for brands that want to connect to their customer base. Okay, so yeah, we'll see. I mean, versus it's a cheaper one, but is it enough to take the day from MSGM? MSGM only has 3 million shares traded, but with this range, it may get the trading on today. It's jumped up to $63, so it probably will kind of push away some retail, but I think if big money is gonna play today, they'll come to play on that one. Um, well, we'll kind of see. These are the top ones that I was looking at. I'm gonna look at these floats real quick as well. I know yesterday MSGM had a float under a million, and I was like, "What? Let's go!" So I got on there. So let's go and look at these floats. For MGAM, the first one. MGAM, we have a float of 10.65 million. Okay, a little bit higher than MSGM was yesterday, and that's why I kind of avoided MGAM yesterday, because I was like, okay, this one has a lower float, and MSGM has a lower float and making bigger range, so I'm gonna stick with that one. Let's look at here. MGAM, do you have any kind of crazy shelves or anything? Has a shelf registration from what is it, October 2022. That's okay. MGAM on shortsqueeze.com. Let's see what it's got over here. No information. Finviz, MGAM. Okay, float of 13.47 over here on this one. All right, let's jump over to the next one. What was that? VS. VS looking like 1.93 million in the float over here on Finviz. Let's check another source. VS float, yeah, 1.59 million over on Yahoo Finance as well. And no shelf registrations. What's the next one? Next one was QNRX. I don't know what exactly that one does. I don't know if it's connected to gaming at all. QNRX. No shelves. QNRX. Okay, float of 4.7 million. A lot of low floats moving today. 4.7 million. Let's see. QNRX. Yep, same thing. Float of about 4 million. The next one is, of course, MSGM, which is up 62. It should still have the same float. It was under 1,000. It shouldn't have changed that quick, so I think it'll be all right. But yeah, these are the ones that I'm looking at today. Top 4, and we'll see what happens with them. VS has a crazy low float. I'm gonna look at some of these level 2s and see if there's any levels of interest out here yet. MGAM has 10,000 at the $4, which is very close. Does it have anything else down here? Not really. VS 11,000. Nothing that really sticks out though. That's kind of close where, well, it looks like it disappeared. Up 14,000 at the $3, which is still kind of close, 24 cents away from that big level. QNRX. So is QNRX a part of this whole gaming thing? Let me see. Let me read some of these comments as well. Danielle, hey Dallas. My GNS and Q short worked a couple of days ago. Nice. Dallas says I'm only trading the opening bell, skipping 9 o'clock, then coming back in the mid tens. Donnell says good deal, Dallas. I'm gonna wait and let things I guess play out. GD says good morning, GD. Donnell says let this settle down. Tickers acting like popcorn this morning. Dallas says about to load my watch list for the buzzer. And then Toronto 1 said, what's up? Can you show how to draw supply and demand zones? And then it's snowing. Dallas says it's snowing here today. I could go for a Dr. Pepper. Then VPG says, good morning, everybody tuning in. All right, let's get to supply and demand zones. So first, supply and demand zones are best seen after you have a little bit more data. Pre-market data is something that can misconstrue some of the price action because everybody can see it. Everybody can see those pre-market levels. They're like, okay, this level may hold, this level may fall, and there's a lot of guesstimation going on at the open. And so why the open is so dangerous. The more you observe the actual ticker, the more you will understand what demands are needing to be met. Like yesterday when I was looking at MSGM, I didn't take my trade until the end of the day. I watched this thing form a range here, and let me zoom in and here a little bit. So I watched this thing rip up, and I didn't know what it was going to do because the first part of well, one of my rules is like, okay, what is the high here? And this thing just continued to push with no dip. And so I finally saw a little bit of resistance coming in right here at the 28.28, which was right at the top. And I was like, okay, well, I want to see how it's going to hold or how it's going to move away from this top, if this is a top, or is it going to continue to rip? So it formed this, and it formed some indecisive candles here to the low side of this, and this is a 15-minute candle, low side of this 15-minute candle, then to the mid, and then it started to fall. And it reached this first level here, which was 18, right above the 1825s for support. And I was like, I wonder what a bounce will look like from here. I didn't buy here. I was just kind of cautious and looking. And then it started to rip back up here, and it ripped from the 18 back up here to the 23s. 23 level, which was, I would say, another level of resistance. And I was like, okay, well, I know that this thing is giving out what, almost a $5 rip in here. So I like this range. And so on this next one, I saw it come down here again and stop before. There was some level of interest here, some level of demand here. And I guess, do I have my supply? Do I have the zones here? Line. Do I have, I guess I could draw with a rectangle, I guess. So there's some kind of demand within the previous buying pressure here. So I looked at the body of this little push out here across the board. Basically, this is what I was looking at the whole day. I was like, okay, this thing popped off of this level for some reason, this 18 level, and it continues to try to come back up to the 20. So it came down again, held again. I still did not buy. I was just waiting. It was indecision, kind of chopping sideways during the lunchtime and 1 o'clock hour for me in Central Time. and then it started to dump again towards this level. Now this time I started to add in on the bottom of this wick here, in the bottom of the demand, and I wasn't in any kind of full size. I think I was like collecting 10 shares down here, just in case, you know, it ended up flushing, you know, 5-10 shares, and then on the next one it continued to hold here away from that $20 level, and I just continued to add on these little bottom wicks. All of these bottom wicks I added, and then all of a sudden it went from 18 and tried to get back up here to this previous level that it had tested during the lunchtime and the 1 o'clock hours, and failed. So I just held what I had, and I sold pretty much everything at the 22s. From my average price, I was adding all over the place, but my average price was came out to be $19.50. And so when it ripped up to 22, I took most of my profit off. I mean, that was already a nice little rip. And then I took the rest of it. I kind of just, you know, the rest of it, I was like, do I really want to let this fall against me? And I went ahead and took the profit. So whatever. It was $2, and the biggest per share move was $2.09 per share. But I was just taking off profit as it went up for that last what I thought was the last retest. And then it went into aftermarket, and I was like, you know, I don't want to be holding this thing. It kept looking weak, but then it gaps up, and I was in cash, so I wasn't holding this overnight, because I knew if the range was this big, if it does drop, it could drop huge. I did have confidence in the catalyst though for the trade that I pursued. So it's a lot of different factors, not just supply and demand, but you just have to kind of put it all together. Your catalyst, supply and demand, the low float. It was under 1 million shares traded, moving like this, moving $2, $3, $4, $5 at a time, bro. I was like, and back here, you know, this is the FOMO area. This is where people just be getting in, you know. And I'm like, I don't really like that. I want to see it come into some kind of consolidation and show me some type of range. And if the range is big enough, I mean, you bought 10 shares at a bottom, you would have made what, 30 bucks, 20, 30 bucks just on 10 shares. So um it was a nice little move. But today there is a lot on the board. And actually, before I jump in these are my rule sets that I kind of try to stay with. I try to stay with. First analysis question: is it a low float? What is the float? Know the float before you get into the trade. If you're trading low floats, if you're trading something else, you probably got a different structure of rules. Next thing, what are the outstanding shares looking like? How much dumping? So basically, I want to know not only the outstanding shares, but I want to know who's holding the outstanding shares, or the most outstanding shares. If we go out here on Yahoo to MSGM, and we look at who's holding. So look at how many insiders are holding here. 60% of insiders holding. That means insiders who could be CEOs or anybody that's holding those even restricted shares believe that this thing can make a move in one direction or the other. When institutions are holding, look how little the number is on institution holding. Institutions are the ones that come in, they can do a lot of manipulation, but when the insiders believe, it's like, okay. So that's why I kind of take into consideration who's holding the shares, and are they willing. Now sometimes insiders can be dangerous, because if they want to dump, guess what, it's gonna dump big. But if they want to hold, it could get some nice moves. So I always take that into consideration as well. Who's holding the outstanding shares, not just outstanding shares or float, but all four of these factors there. The other thing, let me see, what was the other? What's the other rule? Does it have a catalyst? This thing did have a catalyst, and a pretty good catalyst at that. They had a lot of sentimental following from the cheaper stocks as well. And then the other thing, was the retracement worth the risk? So on that one, for me, getting $2 per share, that's worth the risk. That's not 10 cents, 20 cents. That's $2 per share. So it's worth the risk to me. That's why I'm looking for range. The next one, let's see, pre-trade variables. What is the competition on the day? So yesterday, in the low floats, MSGM had no competition to me. I was like, oh, no one else is out here shining. I'm going MSG all the way. Are short strongly winning? So that was my question when I bought here on these little wicks on the bottom. I wanted to see shorts winning and then meet resistance, some type of resistance, and they did over and over again around this $18 level, and I was adding right in these lows, just adding all the way across the board. I did have a tight stop. I mean, I didn't really risk that much, really, because if it did stop me out, I would have lost like maybe 2-3 cents, and I was just adding, and it never did come and stop me out. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna continue holding. We'll be good. Um, let's see. And are there any large areas of interest on the level 2? So yesterday when I was watching the level 2, there was a level of interest down there at that 1825 that it continued to kind of just bounce above, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot. But anyway, we got 9 minutes to the bell. Let's read some more comments. Let's see. You need to use your programming skills to automatically check everything like I do. Oh yeah, I mean, but the thing is, sometimes so I have my trading platform downloaded on multiple computers, and sometimes I'm not at this location to trade. Sometimes I'm on the go and I look over and I'm like, oh wow, this thing's up crazy amount, or this thing it has a setup that I like, and I just don't have time. I'm like, I'm gonna take a quick trade, go ahead and go ahead and get some shares at least, and then see where it goes from there, and keep my loss, my risk to reward basically safe. I don't want to be risking too much. I only traded 165 shares on those dips. I added and added and added, and before I could add some more, it ripped. You know, and I would much rather be in that position where I'm adding on the lows and it won't allow me to get the prices that I want anymore because the price action is moving upward. I'd rather not be trying to get in on the highs where all the shorts want to get in, and now I'm getting forced down out of my position because the shorts are winning. I'm buying the lows until they won't allow me to buy the prices I want anymore. All right, so yeah, coming into the open, MGAM sitting up here at the 414s, right above the $4 level, has a previous level of consolidation in the pre-market. Previous high of yesterday during intraday was 285s for what looks like support, could be a support level, and then the pre-market level of maybe the 325s support. Then for VS, it hit a high up here of 414 resistance, and I think this will be one of the days where there's a lot of I didn't even finish the down here. So boundaries and notes to consider. So first one, please follow the rules. Prices above $2 give me the best results for my strategy. I kind of, that's why my scans don't even show things under $2. I mean, I just let everybody else play those. I like range. I'm too greedy to trade under $2 is what I'm saying. Like if I see like, a 5 cent move and then it breaks down, it's gonna kill my spirit. Always consider the shares outstanding when considering the floats. Never trade a stock with low relative volume but has big range. The spreads and liquidity make it hard to enter and exit positions properly. If there is too much commotion in the market, let's say there are 2 or 3 big movers with similar ranges on the day, if the stock that I'm interested in starts to lose volume and something else is just taking over, I'm just gonna let it, just kind of die. I just leave it alone, especially if the ranges close up and tighten down too much and the volume dries up. If a stock is indecisive, where it begins to fall but then snaps back, or begins to rip but then falls back, I just kind of let that stock choose a direction. Does it want to trend upward? Does it want to trend downward? And then indecisive stocks burn my mental patience. I hate the back and forth. I want to, if I'm gonna buy the low, I want you to stay in that range and then try to move out of that range upward. Don't come back to me because I'm just gonna stop out. I'm gonna stop out, break even. I'm not gonna let you take me down with you. All right. So yeah. Oh my goodness, MSGM, look at this dump. What in the Bro, look at MSGM on this dump. It dumped from $60 down to $34. Insanity. Insanity. Y'all, this is why I wanted to be cash yesterday. I don't trust this type of bruh. Somebody just gave back their shoes, clothes, the shirts off their back, their children's souls, their souls, wives, their house. That's what a $30 drop in pre-market. That's why I don't trust pre-market data. I wait for intraday data to see what real people want to do. This is insane. Insanity. And guess what? In pre-market and aftermarket, guess what? You have to do limit orders. So there ain't no stop loss on most of these. I don't think there's any stop losses in aftermarket, pre-market. You just got to stop out with your finger and hope and pray that everything works out. Look at that dump, man. This is why I don't trust pre-market data. They can fake you in. This thing looks strong, it's going up, and now you're down $30 per share when you bought in this on this indecisive candle. And now, you gotta go and sell shoestrings. Man, that's crazy. I wonder is MGAM going, well, yep, MGAM took a little dip too. That is insane. So if you were shorting MSGM this morning, I applaud you for your foresight. I wasn't about to be a part. I'm good. I am great. It was just up 185%. It's down to 39% up on the day. That's insane, bro. I don't need see this is why we wait for intraday. Let the pigeons play in pre-market. Because they're playing with people that are not playing the same game. They're playing with people that can see all of the level twos, all of the real data in pre-market. They can see those. It's low liquidity for the most part, so they can see your order out there real easy in comparison to intraday trading when everybody's just in and out, in and out. There's big numbers coming in. I'm like, nope, I'm good. Market makers be out here doing their thing. Let them make their pre-market money. Wow, all the way down to $28. Anybody buying this dip? And the crazy thing, there are no halts. So what stops them from doing this? What keeps them from doing a move like this? I mean, what's gonna save you? Nothing. This thing's coming back down to my buy, which was $20. I am not going to be doing that. So we have 2 minutes until the bell. We're going to see how these things play out. The only thing that's still holding up is VS with 370%. I still don't know if it's the thing on the day to be watching. Let me flip right over here to the scans real quick, and we're going to flip back. Right now, top volume, MGAM, VS, Snap is down 12, QNRX, Tesla is up just a little bit, BuzzFeed, AMD, MSGM, Piton, and NIO. These are my top 10 movers. These do exclude anything under $2 and OTC stocks. And then for my greater potential, these are the low floats that I'm looking at. VS, QNR, MSGM. So yeah, everything else under here hadn't even got 1 million shares traded, so not even worried about those. Today is going to be a very great observation day, I think. Observation. Wow, MSGM all the way back down to $25. Wow, wow, wow. I'm so glad I took my profit yesterday. I'm good. I am great. I feel amazing now. This kind of move right here, after seeing it gap up to, see, it's always a hindsight. You'd be like, well, I had 165 shares at 20 bucks, should have held, but now this. Eh. Nasty, nasty movement. So now the shorts are coming back with that revenge play now. Everything kind of bundling back and forth. VS is pretty much the only thing that looks tradable. MSG down to 13% on the day. I'm not touching that one. QNRX questionable. We'll have to let it play. VS up to $3, up 391%. Seems to be holding green on the day. MGAM just flat right now. So we'll see what VS into a halt right out of the open. Didn't even move anywhere. Just went into a halt. MSGM, nothing. QNRX. Okay, so now we got what we need to be looking for. We've got a targeted assortment of tickers here. 4 tickers. Nothing, when you start getting up to 8 to 10, you're watching 8 to 10 tickers, you start to miss stuff. So I try to get at least 5 tickers, and then I'll cut off one and try to get down to 4 so I can just watch real close at what they're doing. And yeah, we'll see what happens throughout the day. VS will be unhalt. Well, if it's a 5-minute halt, it'll be unhalting in a little bit. If we look over here on the daily chart for VS, we can see that it had a high up here of 420, gap down, had a nice little rundown to 75, around the 75-cent level, and is up here to the $3 level now. This $3 level has jumped across how many gap fills? We had a gap fill here, 89 up to 147, had a gap fill up to 228 up to 259. So we'll see if it comes back into this gap right here, 259 back down to 259. And it also had a little gap here as well, $3 right at that 290 level. So we'll see how it acts above those levels, and I put those levels over here as well. 290 as a form of, I guess it could be support since it's over it right now, which is really close to 290. See if it can get back under there. And then 250, which are still both really close. So it can easily fail back down because of that all those gaps it filled. It might need to go and retest. All right, so let's see. MSGM halted on the way up. Very, very questionable movements. All of them are back green now. Dallas says got no trades yet. RPG says he is in RNAZ, RNAZ. 92 cents is headed down, struggled on $1. 5 million shares traded there. SPY still kind of in a flat movement, got up here to the 405s. Very flat, man. Barely can't see it on the chart. Okay, so it does have a little bit of a downtrend there. We'll see how MSGM opens up. And just kind of watching, just an observation hump day today. MGAM popping back up there as well off this bottom of the 350. But this is the first hour. Of course, I usually let the first hour play out to see what it really wants to do. The hour closes for me on the 30 minutes, so it'll be 9:30 Central Time when the hour closes. Just to give me some observation. Let me see what time VS is supposed to be opening here. VS halted at 9:30:40, so it should be 9:35:40. So it's about less than a minute on VS about to open up here. MGAM and VS are going at it right now. We'll see who wants to. MGAM is up more on the day, like since the open, but VS is a new thing, and it doesn't have a catalyst like that. To partner with Resolve for everything's been AI and gaming. So it's kind of moving on sentiment on VS. It may get choppy, but I think it's gonna have a nice little upward trend possibly. But you know, you just kind of gotta watch and evaluate. Let's also look at these level twos out here for MGAM. MGAM, any big numbers down here? There's one at the 350, 14,000 at 350. I will take note on that, but I'll come back to it. I'm gonna watch VS about to open up here on the 3540. MGAM, I'll go ahead and add a note over there. It's got 14,000 at the 350. Could be a level of interest there, 14K and that's on the bid. I usually am more interested on the bid because I'm usually buying low and I can get the fills that I want. When you buy high, it kind of, you be like, oh, it missed my fill. Nah, bro, you just bought high, bro. I get filled every time I click. Anyway, here goes the open, or supposed to be the open. So this might be a 10-minute halt on MGAM there. So we'll wait on that one. I mean, not MGAM, but on VS, 10-minute halt. MGAM, we saw the level of interest there at the 14K at 350. And we'll see what happens there. 14K. VS, what's those levels twos looking like? No huge numbers on level twos on the bid right now. QNRX continuing down as well. Red on the day, still up 52%. We don't know who's going to be the one right now. RNAS hasn't moved that much on RNAS. MSGM still halted. Now this one I thought was supposed to open up by now. M3147, so it should open up at a 3647. So in a couple of seconds right here on MSGM. Should be opening here. Maybe going into a 10-minute halt itself. Looking like, yeah. Okay, so MSGM 10-minute halt. SPY taking a little move down here. Not exactly. It needs to break down the 404s and get going. Let me read some of these. Whoa. Someone broke into your new house, smoked some meth, and then destroyed your kitchen the night before I got into town. Lauren, it might be time to pull out the boomstick. It might be time to pull out the boomstick. I tell you, here in Mississippi, we love visitors. We show them the southern hospitality of the end of, you know, some guns that are too big to pronounce. MGAM. Okay, so 10-minute halt there. But man, look at how much room it covered. What is the chances that MSGM will pop all the way back up here to 60 today? I think there's a very low probability. And this is another thing you have to take into consideration. What's the probability of the play, right? Like, how probable was it that this thing was going to drop from 60 down to 30 and then return back up there? How do you even calculate that? I think it's a low probability for it to go up there, but we'll see. We'll see what this halt wants to do out of this thing. Could get crazy. I would say be very careful today on any of these stocks. All of them are kind of, not one of them has chosen to be the one on the day, if that makes sense. RNAS, not really, no range there on RNAS there yet. Maybe it'll be a grinder down. MGAM getting back up there. Had a high up here of $5 right at the 5, so we'll put that as resistance. $5 there. And we'll see if it can hold under that. Can it start to make lower highs? Let's see. Dallas says he's long DT. DT had a high of 44.52. So I'll call that a little bit of resistance. We'll see what that wants to do. MGAM coming on back down off of that try to break the high. Okay, can we get an open here on something that we've been watching? I mean, these things have been, seems like they've been halted forever. So let's see when this is supposed to open up. VS, the 30. So 40. It should be coming up. The open on VS should be coming up here shortly. All right, here goes the 10-minute halt. If this is a 10-minute halt, might be a 15-minute halt. We don't know. Oh, Dallas says it's kind of broken. Only went half size on that one. Yeah, I feel that. When I'm not confident, I go below half size. I go 1/3. If I don't think it's going to continue upward, but I will add to a winner. Well, VS halted again. It moved a cent. It didn't go anywhere. Halted again. All right, so let's go back to MGAM going on down there. MSGM should be the next one unhalting here. Let me look at 10-minute halt. So 30 or 41.47, it should be opening up here. 41.47. So coming up here, let's see if it'll come out. VS didn't even go anywhere and just halted again. All right, here comes the open on MSGM. If this is a 10-minute halt, let's see. There's the open. 29s, 28s. Is it going to get pushed down through the floor here? The jump was from 24 back up to 31 there, but I think it's going to find a lot of resistance. I don't know if it's going to be able to reach back up here to these highs. That'll be insane buy up. Yeah, a lot of sell off, people losing their patience with it. It did return back to pretty much the level that it was at yesterday. So a lot of bearish momentum there already. Hitting a high here on this first hour of the 32. And we'll see if it'll continue to crash here. I'll call that resistance. I don't think it's going to get back above 32, but we'll see. It could be sporadic. It might be halted down. Yep, halted down there on MSGM. These things are not moving much. It's a lot of cracking motion. And this is why, it's good to identify what a no trade day looks like. This one, these low flows are, one, is too many things halting and moving and too many moving parts for any focus. Where is the money gonna go is the question. Right now, if we jump over here on my scans, top mover is still MGAM coming under $4. Then next is Snapchat. So we see some larger caps pushing up here onto the levels and pushing down our low floats off of the top 10. One reason I don't like low floats to get pushed off the top 10 is because everybody won't focus on them. Like, I want them to be the first thing they see. Like, oh my goodness, this thing's up 400%. I need to trade it. It's on the top 10 movers. I want to trade it. It's the focus. Let's see. Stonson Chump says, LOL, I have 6. Rob and our roommate have been staying at the house waiting for something to pop off. Rob is at least getting use out of his body armor. I just want to throw hands, good old fashioned way. 6 ready, 18 more to unpack. Hey, that's how you do it, man. And then love me some MSG. Oh yeah. You got the life-changing weapons. That's one thing I noticed. Like, when I go into the cities and they have shootouts, it's like a whole bunch of shooting. It's like pop, 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 just a bunch of shooting. But when you come to the country, it's like one shot. Like, I don't know if they're just better shooters. I don't know. You don't hear a lot of shooting. If somebody has a shootout, it's like maybe 2 shots. And it's over. Somebody getting their life changed. You don't need a lot. You just need a big gun. All right, but anyway, let's jump back over here and see what's going on over here. MGAM, VS. Yeah, these things are just chopping around. QNRX. Nobody's making decisions. DT had a nice little trend up. Oh, this is a lower volume one too. What kind of company is this? DT. DT Dynatrace Inc. Let's see. Dynatrace Inc. Q3 earnings and revenue surpassed estimates. Dynatrace reports third quarter fiscal year to host breakout session. Okay. What do you guys do? Their technology software application based out of provides software intelligence platform for dynamic multi-cloud environments. It operates Dynatrace, a software intelligence platform which provides application and microservices monitoring. Okay, the company also offers implementation, consulting, and training services. All right. And they were founded in 2005 and headquartered in Waltham, Massachusetts. Okay. Well, we'll see what that does. I don't really have a strategy to be like, oh, that's what I would do, but I don't know. I'll just have to watch and see what happens. QNRX continuing to plow down, had a high up here of 338, but is under the volume of MGAM. MGAM continuing to plow down as well to the 350s. Was this the one I said had a level of interest at 350, 14K? Yeah, we'll see how it acts around the 350 to see if that level of interest holds up on MGAM. But I do think MGAM is moving in sentiment with MSGM. So I would say if MSGM is going down, I would be very careful trying to buy lows on MGAM. VS halted again to the downside here. This is, what is this, like the third or fourth halt? It doesn't even open up. It just goes into halts. VS halted again, yeah. So nothing but a halt factory this morning. Yeah, so this is one of those mornings where you can give back a lot of profit trying to hope for things to go back your way. This is hump day midweek, so a lot of news is digesting. There's a new ticker that I see, EBET, over here on my scans. EBET, $2.39, up 152 shares. I'll throw that one up there and see if it has any kind of news there. EBET. Does not have catalyst on the day, kind of just going up there. $2.39, 27. So it just passed the $2 mark is why I'm just seeing it. And it's gonna have to do a dip above $2 is what it's gonna have to do for me. Like I said, there's a lot on the scans moving, and I don't like if it's under $2. I don't even care. I want to see you form a bottom above $2 is what I want. So we're just gonna continue to watch all these halts. I have about 10 minutes left on the stream. I'm gonna go and make some money elsewhere. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the Discord link if you guys want to check out the Discord. After the streams, you know, we can continue the conversations in Discord about our trade ideas, what we see in the market, and how we think the overall market is going throughout the day, especially for day traders, and then throughout the week for swing traders. All right, so let me go ahead and drop the Discord link real quick. Whoa, it's the wrong thing. I thought I copied it. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, there is the Discord link. If you want to be a part, that would be dope. We have a Discord. We have Frame of Fortune YouTube channel. We have my YouTube channel, HH Trader. We have so many things you can check out. But we just want to stay informed as traders, and bounce off of each other because there's so much to learn. Like even from when I first met Dallas to now, you know, we bounced off of each other, and I've learned things and kind of seen like his perspective, and just different perspectives overall. Donnell, different, just scalping. RPG with the shorts. He's the one that pushes all the stocks down. He's got all the money in his pocket. So if you see a stock plummeting, you know, MSGM, that was VPG. But yeah, just learning so much from different people, learning how they view and how they observe the market is just amazing to me. So many different mindsets, being profitable in the market that we're in. And I think EBET just unhalted, going up a little bit more. Had a high during pre-market of the 225s. Put that as resistance. I mean, not resistance, support. 225. But has no news on the day, so that lack of catalyst may be a detriment to it. All right. It is the number 2 mover as of now, above $2. We'll see if it can hold that $2. Yeah, Lauren was telling us someone broke into her house and she didn't get a chance to shoot him. So she was really sad. Really, really sad. She really wanted to use her new toys, but they haven't been unboxed yet. So we're all sending up prayers for Lauren that she gets the shot she wants. Let's see. So MSGM popped back up here to the 3150 again. Continue to find resistance under those levels. We'll see if it continues to drop back. Let the stream go just a little bit more. SPY ripping back up here off the 405s, back up here testing, kind of forming a range here at the beginning of the day. Went down to the lows of the 404s, about a $2 range on the SPY, looks like. We'll see if it continues that movement. MGAM. Yeah, I'm just not trusting anything on the day. Just so much. It's just so much that's catching my eye. Let's see. What is this other one right here? I think I'm watching everything that I could be watching right now. That's holding up on the top tens. But it looks like those larger caps are moving up with the SPY for now. There's the AMD with a nice gap up from 75 up there to the 79s. Okay. And EBET coming on back down to what I was thinking. I don't think it can hold up the twos today. Looking like it wants to get back down there. Already extended with no catalyst. Everything kind of drying up. So everything kind of moving like we expected to move on a Wednesday. A nice little hump day where everything's kind of digesting. SPY ripping. Can it start to break over the four? Can it go up to the 410s today? And this one continues to halt or no, they never opened up out of the halt. MSGM halted at 48. Yeah, so I'm not in love with any of these. I would rather position myself to just take one trade that's a good trade. There's the open right there on MSGM, getting up there to the 34s. Will it go ahead and fail back below the 32s? 32s holding it. Will we see the 3250s here? Need to see that big resistance to the downside. Now, I think on the hour chart, it's going to form a lower high, but it's trying hard, man. Move from the 24s back up here. So that is a $10 move back up. Even with this looking like the backside of the move. We'll see if $40 becomes resistance. I bet the shorts are so active on this thing, man. It's so much in their favor, it's not even funny. Anyway, I'm not gonna sit around and just watch these things chop around without any kind of plan to execute on any of these. You guys, if you're gonna continue trading, be careful. You can check out the Discord. It's almost like texting me on my phone. I see them all the time. You can drop whatever in there, any kind of trade ideas, any kind of chart patterns you want to ask about. Like earlier, we got a question about supply and demand zones. We can definitely post examples of what supply and demand zones in the Discord and things like that. I will be back on Friday streaming, but will I be trading on Thursday? Yeah, I will be trading on Thursday, but I won't be able to stream on Thursday. So I'll be back Friday for streaming and kind of see how the rest of this news plays out. MSGM getting up to $40, but it's whatever, that dip was not interesting to me. Big range, but I think it's gonna dry up. Appreciate you guys dropping through, dropping all of your likes and comments. And if you're not subscribed, you can consider subscribing. MSGM looking like it's going into another halt. So yeah, just be careful on today. A lot of halts, a lot of mental and psychological play going on. So I will keep you guys updated if I see anything, but for now, I'm just gonna go and do something else and kind of just clear my visual bank for the morning and come back with a new look on the market. Also, Lauren, be safe. Be safe with out there. Lauren is just moving and people are already breaking into her property. That's crazy. Like that's a welcoming party, right? And destroying stuff, destroying our kitchen. So definitely be safe out there. Everybody be safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Lauren, I'll probably talk to you offline, maybe on Discord anyway. So definitely keep us updated on everything that's going on. And as always, enjoyed you guys once again. Another great morning of observations of the market. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.